Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond. Broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
We're back at you in Gloves Off, and today we have a great guest. The one that's standing up and to the plate is going to run for City Council District 1. It's Gilbert Gonzalez. How are we doing, Gilbert?
You're good, Mr. Buitrón. Thank you.
Good. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You know, and also, I can tell everybody, it takes some nerve and takes some guts to put your name down in that dotted line. So thank you for standing up.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
And let's touch base for the folks that are out there and they're listening in. Who is Gilbert Gonzalez?
Okay. Yes, I've been doing public service for 24 years now, sir. And I'm in the county. What I offer, who Gilbert is that what I offer my fellow members of District 1 is that I'm ready to retire, to put my career aside and work for them in a full-time capacity. I believe with what's been going on with the city, with the water and all that stuff, we have to be there for the community in a full-time basis.
Absolutely. That's an issue here.
Yes,
The
sir.
issue is what happened with the water.
Uh-huh.
There's several. What happened with the city, what happened with water, what happened during the pandemic, what happened with our small businesses. All those issues have accumulated so much, and
Yes,
I
sir.
think everybody understands that and wants change. Tell us a little bit about the water and tell us what you would see or say, this is what I've learned in my experience and this is what I'll try to do to better it.
Yes, sir. Well, I understand the water. It's been an ongoing issue, and we just don't know when it's going to happen again. So what I plan doing is creating, leave it up to the experts and create an app. We all have apps in our phones nowadays.
Sure.
Where we can monitor our consumption, our daily consumption. Because Mr. Buitrón, I'm sure you know that you don't know how much you're going to pay until your bill gets to your mailbox. We just don't know. And even if you have a leak, sometimes we get a bill for over $500 because we have a leak in the toilet or somewhere, and we don't know about it. Because not all leaks are exposed. So what I plan, and this is very important, because what I plan to do is, I want to create an app where you can watch your daily consumption. That way, if we've watered the lawn in this summer heat for so many days consecutively, we can just say, let's stop watering because look at the consumption now. So, and not only that, also we can have their monitor the chlorine levels. And so we can gain the trust back from the community, where they can say, the water's 100% clean. Let's not get bottled water this month, or don't bring bottled water from HEB. We can track the chlorine levels, that it's potable, it's drinkable, and that's what I plan to do. To bring back the confidence in our water system. And when I say that I want to be there working full time for the constituents, is that I want to go and visit the water plant, and talk to the directors and the supervisors there, because we need to start hiring people that are qualified, to gain the trust back in that department.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
The city lost trust in many departments,
Mm-hmm.
but one of them is there, and we also have a lot of complaints with, especially right now we're post-COVID.
Yes, sir.
And you have some of the small businesses that made it through that.
Mhm,
More likely
yeah.
we're resilient enough, then more likely they're going to prosper.
Yes, sir.
Some of them are looking to expand, some
Mhm.
are looking to construct, and some of them are looking for new spaces as well.
Correct.
Because they've done that.
Mhm.
Either the space has become available, what they're looking for, whatnot.
Exactly.
But a lot of people are hesitant because they go to the building department and they'll say, you need a temporary electric light to
Mhm.
be there.
I hear you.
The inspector's he'll look at this in the next 10 to 15 days.
Yes, sir.
And then go over there. But you're already paying rent. I mean, there has to be some type of...
It takes a time, and it takes a lot of time, and it takes a toll when you're starting the small business. You know, we need to be opened as per, you know, and act adequately to help out these small business owners. You know, not just get it done because we know somebody. No, we want to be somebody to our community. We want to be somebody to our families, you know, and open these small businesses. Unfortunately, some small businesses didn't make it post-COVID, you know, and things are coming back, and I hope they didn't give up and they can come back and, you know, and give it a shot, you know, and like I said, and the city needs to meet these small business people halfway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and it has to do that because the city basically turned their backs on small businesses. And I'd say this, and there were only two, when COVID struck that day that everybody was going mad and going down to that emergency meeting, and there was only two councilman members that really cared about small businesses.
Yeah.
One was Mercurio Martinez, and the other one was Vidal Rodriguez.
Okay.
The rest of them kind of just, they were going nuts.
Yes, sir. There was a lot of uncertainty.
You had one that said, let them die of starvation and debt or something to that behalf.
Okay.
I mean, what kind of attitude is that towards a small business owner? What?
Yeah.
So we have to. We saw. I know you're in law enforcement. We saw also the way the police and the inspectors treated small business owners, even when they were complying with the governor. They were being pushed around. And
yes, sir.
We need to bring back the face of the law enforcement. I'm not talking about the deputies I'm talking about the Laredo Police Department, and bring them back to have faith.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
the people, because right now the people they're kind of what the comments that you read, they're kind of like they're in doubt.
Yes, sir. I mean, now it's a different ballgame. You know, post COVID, people don't know if they want to invest in this or that. You know, it's changed a lot, and regardless, I believe the city continues growing.
Yes.
You know, and our same issues 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago are not the same issues now. You know, they're even the problems are modernizing. You know, they're arising new. We have new problems that weren't problems 5-10 years ago. So yeah, that is very important, Mr. Buitrón.
Absolutely. There's another thing of importance to me because you know we had the horrific event in Uvalde.
Yes.
We had the horrific event that happened in Chicago in Highland Park. I mean, our kids are being led astray. You know, you know that a lot of law enforcement always say, you know, the father is not involved in the kid's life, and this goes back and it touches place because you know there's a law and it's Penal Code 2503, which is interference with child custody.
Yes,
we'll get to that. Is that I think that's very important.
Okay.
Because you know you get parents, or maybe they were not married or what have you, but you have a loving non-custodial parent.
Yes, sir.
That wants to visit their child. It could happen to a mom. It can happen to a father. They go visit the mom, and the custodial parent says, "You're not going to see him this weekend."
Okay.
And the police show up and they say, "Well, it's a civil matter. It's a DA doesn't prosecute. It's a civil matter. It's not a crime." But it is a state jail felony.
Yes.
You being a peace officer, what do you think about that?
I'm a correctional officer, and yes,
Okay.
yes, it's never it's not a civil matter. You know, custody is not a civil matter. These cases are heard in the county court of laws. So you know, whether it being the mother or the father, you know, there's always the child being affected.
Sure.
So that's why the decree is very important. You know, the decree. You know, when PD gets there, they don't know what would happen. You know, in the court, or they don't even know what happened in the relationship.
Absolutely.
And they don't even know if the child wants to see the non-custodial parent or not. Regardless, you know, the non-custodial parent has its rights. So the decree is something provided by the court, by the judge, and signed. And that's when, you know, the custodial parent, when they don't follow it, you can be found in contempt. You know, so that is very important. And coming back to, yes, sir, the child needs both of their parents, whether it's through their visitation and through their, I mean, it's I want to say 50-30, or, you know, when they get their visitation rates, yes, they need the love of both their parents if they still have them. You know,
Absolutely.
So yeah, that is a very good point, sir, because the decree says it all. You know, that's the decree is heard the case is heard in the county court of law, and once the decree is signed, then the custodial parent has to follow that. You know, the LPD can't interpret he can just follow it, you know, and the parent can always, you know, just file the report, and then the custodial parent's going to be found in contempt. So that way we have to stop, you know, all the issues that happens with the parents and the drama, all of that is set aside, you know, and the child needs their attention, whether it's from their dad or you know, or their mom. So
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, and that's what happens. And you know, I've gone through it, and many other parents have gone through
Yes,
it,
sir.
and the issues stop. And we understand. The reason I'm a big activist for this, or
I'm glad you are.
Going forward, is because in the future we need our kids to be. If they have loving parents,
Yes, sir.
doesn't matter what happened with the relationship. They're still loving parents.
There you go,
They
yes.
should both have the chance and the right to be involved in that child's
course,
life.
yeah.
And we as a community need to help them out as
Yes, sir.
well. You know,
Because when divorce happens, the parents move on, but the child is affected.
Sure.
So what we need to do is minimize how much that child is. They're affected regardless.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're the ones that take the hit. You see their little faces in court when their parents get divorced. They don't want that, but they can't choose that. You know, sometimes it doesn't work out for the parents, and they must move on, and I understand that. But it is very important to follow the decree by either the father that has the custodial or the full custodial or the mother. But it needs to be followed because, you know, the kids grow so fast and they develop so fast, and they need the love from both their parents. And that is very important because statistically show that these mass shooters, you know, they were raised by their grandmas or you know, the love wasn't there. So I believe that they're mad at something.
Absolutely.
They're mad at the world. They think
Absolutely.
the world owes them. So here in Laredo, I mean, it is very important, you know, just to keep on following that decree and you know, keep those kids visiting both of their parents.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think with people that understand that, and I think the council did a wonderful job, which they set a resolution up
Yes.
to
Nice.
Texas State Representative Richard Raymond.
Great.
And it almost became law.
Okay.
It was just so I think it's going to be sent back up again.
Okay.
I think that they did a good job on that. You know,
And
on the
resolution being?
a resolution being that even though it's a state jail felony,
Okay.
interference with child custody, which
Yes,
is
sir.
Penal Code 35, they're
Uh-huh.
going to add to it that a municipality can vote to, instead of incarceration right away,
Okay.
they'll give
Like a fine?
they'll give a fine
Okay.
to each
Citation.
one, and then the third one it goes.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that'll be the easier way because you already tracked it a lot easier.
Yeah, because like I said, we as parents, we need to put the drama or the differences that we had and focus on the child left behind, you know, because they're the ones, I say it again, because in a divorce, they're the ones that get affected some way,
Absolutely.
form, or fashion.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Regardless of their age. If they're a year, if they're 15, they still get impacted by a divorce.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, changing this going forward.
Yes.
What other problems do you see the city has that you can go ahead and say, you know what, this needs to be looked at, this needs to be changed? What else do you see there?
You see, there's a lot of work to be done, sir. Like in for example, in Century City, you know, that easement in the middle of a residential area, you know, to that man I met, and he's retired and he's getting tired of kind of cleaning it up because the city doesn't want to step in there, you know. So what I'm saying is that there's work to be done there, you know. To the single mother that I met on Ejido, and you know, they had a fast speeding motorist because, you know, that's an issue in our district. Was driving fast and they knocked the cinder block fence down. It had been there for months. So like I said, all that there's work to be done. You know, the elderly in Sierra Vista, where she's getting snakes and rats in her yard because they don't want to come up and you know, there's 3 feet away. I see where they cut only to the 3 feet, and they don't want to, you know, just finish the canal that's there. that's where, I mean, there's work to be done. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, and what's important about your district, that's the entry to Laredo.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yeah,
we
it's
have to
Angelito Lindo.
we have to beautify
Mhm.
that entry to Laredo. You
Yeah.
know, just like IH-35 coming in,
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
and
Mhm.
that's the entry to Laredo from the north. We have to make sure that when people come to visit, they
Uh-huh.
don't see it as junkyards.
Of
You know
course.
what I'm saying? I hate to use that term, but you see it as dilapidated or what have you. It has
Yeah.
to be fixed because that's the impression, the
Of
first
course,
impression
yes,
that
it
comes
is.
into Laredo.
Because people from the valley, you know, to go to up to San Antonio and Austin, you know, they have to pass through our city.
Absolutely.
You know, and we have to, you know, where are those trucks that we used to see, you know, those vacuum trucks, you know, that would brush the streets? I don't know, but I haven't seen them. You know, how many do we have? We need to, I know there's 3 or 4, but we need to start operating them, you know? Because, I mean, we used to see them, sir. I don't know you, but
yeah.
I don't see them as much as, I mean, as we used to see those.
You know, and when you look at it, we have 3 entries. We have 4 entries. We
Yeah.
have 35,
35.
we have 59,
Yeah.
359, and 83.
Yes.
I mean, that's 4. I
Uh-huh.
mean, we have to beautify those areas to come inside because that's the impression
Yes, sir.
Laredo is giving.
That is key. Of course.
You know, and if we want to be number 1, we better start acting like number 1.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Totally
because there's no number 2s. You know what I'm saying? And number
Yeah.
2 is that you just got far enough and you lost.
Yes, sir.
And what was I going to say? We used to be the 2nd fastest growing city in
And we
the
probably
nation.
still are.
And you know what I'm saying?
Laredo keeps growing.
What happened?
Uh-huh.
You know, something happened. It's still growing.
Yeah.
What else happened
Yeah,
besides it?
yes. I believe we had an influx of a lot of people from Mexico, you know,
Sure.
trying to escape their lives over there and with the cartels and stuff. So now we have you know, more, and those are the people that are moving in and who are bringing in these new businesses. So, which is good. Yeah.
Absolutely. If somebody wants to get involved with your campaign and say, you know what, I like what you say, how can they get a hold of you? Where can they call you? Where can they
Okay, well, I am active on my Facebook page, and my I mean, I'll give my can I give my cell phone publicly here? They can also reach me. It's 956-763-7735, and you know, they can just contact me and you know, we'll start working. I also have a Facebook group that is now active, and we've been working hard, you know. So yes, of course, definitely give me a call. They can just give me a call and we'll get it together.
Absolutely. And one last thing, we will be having debates, and we'll be having debates down. We'll be hosting debates. We'll be hosting the Texas State Representative. We'll be hosting the mayoral debate, and we're also going to be hosting your district. And
That's great, sir.
I would like to see you participate.
Of course, thank you for what you do, you know, and I also want to encourage, you know, those future candidates out there, start doing for your community now. Let's not wake up someday and say, I want to run. You know, the need is there. It's always going to be there. Start helping out, you know, whether it's in a medical expenses plate sale, just, you know, your community needs us. And like I said, if you plan to run in the future, I mean, the community is in need. So let's start helping now.
Absolutely. You know, that's some good words that you said, because you have a lot of people all of a sudden pop up and say, okay, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what's on social media. Everybody's adopting a cat. They go buy adopt a cat. No,
it's
you
not
know what I'm
about
saying.
that.
It's
yes, sir.
When were you out there
Uh-huh.
helping the people?
Yeah.
And people see that, and notice that.
Yes, sir. Of course. Like I said, I've been doing public service for 24 years now. I started at 20 years old working in the juvenile with our troubled youth. So, and then I went to the JP court. That's why, and which serves District 1. I worked there many years, you know, and that's why I understand our issues. And like I say, Mr. Buitrón, again, our issues back then aren't the same now. You know, they're very different. So that's why we need to keep modernizing and being active and being alert with our issues throughout the city. You know, and don't get me wrong, our citizens in district or throughout the city, they don't expect for city government to fix their problems. You know, but they just want, you know, they expect for their tax-paying dollars not to be wasted. I mean, you know, and also as candidates and as elected officials, They expect for you to walk away from corruption because it exists. You know, they that's all they expect. You know, we're not gonna. We're not gonna solve all their problems. They just, they just have expectations as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that is true. And you're the only one that can be able to dictate once you get in there, and corruption, the face of corruption comes in front. You're the only one that's going to say, you know what?
Exactly.
Out
sir.
here.
Yeah.
Because and a lot of people become complacent, and they
Yeah.
won't. They just shrug it off like, oh,
Yes,
nothing's
sir.
happening, but something is happening.
And that's one of the main reasons I'm running, is because I don't want to, spend another 4 years, these coming 4 years and said I should have done it. I'm prepared, I'm ready, and said, you know what, the District 1 and the city as a whole, we can't afford to give a step back anymore. So
No, we cannot, and you're absolutely correct in what you said. Laredo can't step back because it's stepping back into a tomb.
Yes, sir.
And
Correct.
either we go forward out of it,
Mhm.
we get up and out of it because it's an ICU and it's, the heart rate's going beep, beep, until it's going to flatline.
Yeah.
And the way this administration under this mayor has done it, it brought it down. And I say that very positively because that's not only my opinion, that's the opinion of many, of what we've seen
Yeah.
and what we feel, what we see out in the community, what we hear. Because I get calls like this. I'm not a how can I say, a journalist that's going out there looking for this. I don't even consider that my journalist. I'm more of I'm just here having a sit down with
Yes,
you,
sir.
having a nice conversation.
And like I said, I appreciate
But-
what
but-
you're doing.
but,
The people need to know our platforms.
And that's correct. But there's a lot of wrongs that's been done, and how can we correct them? By getting people in there that understand what it is and pushing them forward.
Yes, sir, because for the upcoming weeks and months, us, the candidates, we're going to be talking, but come October and November, the community is going to do the talking at the polls. So that's going to, like I said, that's going to be important and key.
Absolutely. And with that, we'll go ahead and shut this off. And I want to wish you the best of luck, and everybody else that's running the best of luck, because number one, it's hard.
Yes, sir.
It's hard to do this. And folks out there, if you want to get to know the candidates, give them a call. Research the candidates that are out
Please
there,
do.
and understand their platform, understand who and what they are, who and what they stand for. Also, don't go by the fads, because all of a sudden everybody's giving a backpack or a case of water. If 20 years before or 10 years before you never heard of them, and all
Yes,
of a
sir.
sudden now they're copycatting everything else. Because believe me, it happens, especially in politics.
Yeah.
And you all be safe. If our debate's going to be on September 7th, if you're interested in that, give us a call, because we're going to be having tickets, and we're going to be selling them next week as soon as we get
Sir.
the tickets in hand. And we want to thank you once more, and you guys stay safe and be safe. Till next time, much peace.
Today, in America, more than 5.5 million men, women, and children train in a martial art regularly. Buitrón Academy has been serving Laredo for over 30 years now. Our youth classes help kids build respect, self-control, discipline, and focus. This will teach them how to deal with bullies and peer pressure.
Hello, my name is Lee Cepeda.
My name is Nathan.
This is my son Nathan. One of the reasons I joined Buitrón Academy here and enrolled my son is the legitimacy of the school, the history. And I know he's young right now, he doesn't understand a lot of it, but I feel that later on when he grows up, he's going to have a lineage and heritage from this school that he can be proud of. He can take anywhere and be proud of learning with a legit professor, legit masters, and other instructors as well. There's a lot of plus that comes with enrolling your son or your daughter in a school. Mainly discipline, respect, and I've been noticing He's his schoolwork, his grades have improved. The way he speaks to others, respect and some discipline, and he enjoys it. He enjoys it. He has fun when he comes, and sometimes he's disappointed when we're not able to bring him. But he likes the classes and he likes the school, and I'm hoping that in the future he'll receive himself as a good instructor or a good student later on.
Buitrón Academy. Give us a call for your free evaluation at 956-401-4868. Check out the website at savat.biz and follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Come train at the best kept secret of Laredo.